So I just found out that Icepick Lodge is starting a new ARG that's teasing the Bachelor Route. For those of you who don't know, Icepick Lodge have done this before to tease Pathologic too. That ARG was titled Feverish Feeling, and like with any other alternative reality game, people were solving puzzles, looking for clues, and decoding secret messages, which ultimately led to the Kickstarter page for Pathologic 2 being created. Well, now it's being done for the Bachelor Route, and it started with Kickstarter backers receiving mysterious cards with random letters on them. If you pledged $160 or more in the Pathologic Kickstarter, you would get a physical copy of the soundtrack, a signed printed art book, a physical map of the town, and a few other cool things. Well, for whatever reason, Icepick Lodge had difficulties getting these rewards to backers, and some backers are only getting their items now. Well, with their rewards, some of them are also getting mysterious messages and codes. One backer got a blank card with the letters R, F, N, and E with a question mark at the end. Another backer got a similar blank card with the letters O, L, E, S, and a capital A at the beginning. I believe that if these letters were all in one card, they would result in a complete message, but even if we put these letters together, we still don't have enough to understand what it's trying to say. Here's what we get. AROFLNEES question mark. I'm sure we'll get more letters as more backers receive their rewards, but I think I already know what it says. It was obvious to me that the AR and O likely spell out the words RU, but after that I wasn't really sure what to do next. So I put all of the information I had into ChatGPT and it suggested that the next word is feeling, and then it just clicked for me. I think the complete message is, are you feeling feverish? This makes sense to me since the first ARG is titled Feverish Feeling. Now, we don't have the complete message yet, so I could be wrong about this, but if this is the intended message, I think it's likely that these cards and the code were just hinting at the ARG making a comeback. Now, here's where the real ARG begins. Instead of receiving a card with numbers on it, one of the backers received a train ticket. The ticket is in Russian, so here it is translated. The ticket belongs to Daniel, and on it we can read his departure and arrival time, his seating on the train, and the name of the station, that being the Emperor's Railway. On the right side of the ticket, under additional information, it says, "Attention, in the area of your chosen point of arrival, a sudden burst of sickness rate is observed. Remember, your health is your responsibility." In Artemis' route, he arrives before anyone knows of the plague, so unless the sickness is referring to something else, then maybe in Daniel's route there will already be some level of infection in the town when he arrives. Underneath the passenger information section, there's a bunch of squares and rectangles. Well, this is actually Morse code, and when translated, it gives you the name of a Reddit user titled FyodorVitin. This user currently only has posted 2 images to their account. The oldest post was on March 21st, 2023. This post is titled The Beginning, and the image is of a letter signed by Daniel. Once again, it's in Russian, so here's the translation. I received a letter from a certain Isidore Burat, who, as they say, is personally acquainted with an unnaturally long-lived man. This is the ruler of an unknown provincial town that stands at the very end of the Northeastern Railway. If what is said is at least half true, then this long liver will become the missing proof. We will finally wipe the nose of the damned Tillman, and when the bastard is silent, we will be able to convince the authorities to spare the Thanatica. Well, if I don't find anything there, well, signs from the corral will go straight to the slaughterhouse. P.S. It is not calm in the steppe regions now, so I am taking the prototype of the visor with me. I leave the current work on you all the records in my office. I will contact you as soon as I can. I hope they at least have a telegraph there. When he mentioned the visor, he is most likely talking about the plague finder. Now there are a few more things interesting about this image. In the bottom right corner is a pocket watch, which is stopped at the time of 1:30. I couldn't find any significance of this time, but it may be important later. In the bottom left, we can see Isidore's letter to Daniel, which is unchanged from the original game. Daniel is given this letter on day 2 or 3, I think. And if you've never seen it or don't remember what it says, here it is. My dear Bachelor Dankovsky, it was most disconcerting to learn that the powers that be have the intention of shutting down the laboratory that owes its fame largely to your own research in the field of thanatology. Is it true that your detractors have branded your studies scientifically stillborn? Rejoice, Bachelor, for there is an observable case that would quell the obscurance that reject the research of death, aging, and necrosis as a subject that lacks academic viability. This case, were you to document it, would go a long way towards restoring your reputation as a scholar. The subject in question is Simon Kine, who has ruled the town where I live for as long as I can remember. This man's longevity transcends the boundaries of what is plausible. It is phenomenal, no less, and I struggled to give you an explanation of it with what scientific means I have at my disposal. Make no delay. There is a sensational discovery to be made here, a breakthrough that will not only save your laboratory, but also revivify your studies and greatly increase your scientific renown. Your humble servant and faithful colleague, Isidore Burach. The last thing that may be important is the title of a book being visible. This book is The Nature of Man, written by Elie Metchnikoff. Elie Metchnikoff is best known for his research in immunology, so I suppose it does make sense for Daniel to be a fan of his. Okay, back to FyodorVitin. There is one more post on their profile. This one was posted on April 26th and is titled One Can Work Here. This image is likely of Daniel's room in the Stillwater. We can tell because of the title of the post and because of the presence of this map in the background, which is present in our current Stillwater. In the background, we can also see a small statue of a centaur and a bust. Well, someone has identified these things as real art pieces. The centaur is called Old Centaur Teased by Oros, but the one Daniel has is a marble copy of the centaur without the other person on its back, and the bust may be the head of the Emperor Gaius. There isn't much else to see in this image besides for the Stillwater getting a slightly different look for the Bachelor Route. That's where the ARG ends for now. I'm pretty sure I've covered all the information around it so far, and I'll try to cover as much of it as I can whenever new information is released. That Reddit account made one post in March and another in April, so maybe there'll be something new next month. And there might even still be some clues being sent out to backers. Well, let me know what you think about all of this. Thanks for watching, and goodbye.